What's going on YouTube, man? So now I'm gonna cover another topic about STA-21. Hope you enjoyed the video. So this topic is going to be about STA-21's leadership and how is that in my experience. But don't get it twisted. Once you get selected, that's just the start of your process. That's not the end all be all. So when you get there, having your mindset like, okay, yes, you could lay low. It's some people that laid low, but it's 55 people. And 55 people got to cross the finish line at the exact same time, at the exact same day. So it's going to be a team effort. So the STA-21 team consists of, this is who you saw on a regular basis now. It's people above these people, and I get that, but the people that you've seen on a regular basis were the assistant divo, the class chief, and the class officer, right? So the assistant divo is one of the officer candidates that got selected for STA-21. The divo is a class candidate that got officer candidate that got selected for STA-21. And then your class chief is going to be in charge of the overall operations. And then you got your divo, and she's going to be pretty much in charge, well, he or she is going to be pretty much in charge of all the administrative duties that happen around you. So day-to-day operations, what does that mean? The class chief is going to make sure you PT, get your mail, get your uniform set up, get your pay set up, make sure your spouse and your location and all your money is squared away. And then if you wanted to go ahead and apply for advanced pay, the class chief is going to make sure that those classes get scheduled. That way, everything that the service member needs while they're in training, they get. And also, the class chief is going to also pick who's going to be the A divo and divo. That's who chooses that. Our class was based off the most senior. We had a chief that got selected for STA-21. And we had another person who was one of the more senior first classes who was selected as the assistant divo. So we pretty much cleared up what the class officer does, administration, the class chief, day-to-day operations. Now, what is your divo, your class divo, and then your class A divo? What do they do? So those people are we had two guys, but those people, they're pretty much going to make sure that they are the ones who takes responsibility for people not being where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. And that includes child, PT, uniform inspections, your analysis, or shots, because I know COVID was coming up, so you had to deal with medical a lot. So we had a lot of things going on that our class divo had to handle, and that didn't stop because he still had to deal with linen situations. Our female head, that's the bathroom. My female head, the showers weren't working. I think it was only giving cold water, but not hot or warm water. So like the females had to take very, very cold showers. So the class divo, that's who the person who got the first word. So the A divo and the class divo takes it up to the class chief and the class officer. And that's pretty much the chain of command on how word gets passed. Another important position is a boat team leader. I actually volunteered to be a boat team leader, and that was actually like one of the smoother positions in my opinion. Like I got to go and I got to stand outside of my room or whatever, my little dorm room, and I get my boat team together. It'd be like maybe 5 or 7 of us, and you just do a head count and you make sure everybody there, and then you tell your A divo who tells the divo who tells the class chief, everybody here. And we did that for child, we did that for school, we did that for uniforms. Like a boat team leader, you are responsible for people to make sure that they're on time, uniform squared away, they got all their materials, class materials, and they are responsible for knowing where everybody in that boat team is at every given moment, just to let the divo know. That's how the divo keeps track of 55 people. They broke it up into boat teams, and I think we had 5 boat teams, and that each boat team leader was responsible for that person or those people in their boat team. And that's how the A divo and divo kept track. If they needed something from somebody, it was like, hey, where's Anderson at? And they see, okay, Anderson's on boat team number 3, and then they call the boat team 3's team leader, be like, hey, where's Anderson at? And then that's how they passed out information. So in my opinion, boat team leader is not a bad position. So if you hear about it and you're a headstrong person and you like being in charge, that's one way to do it without being like a divo or divo. If you don't get selected for either of those, being a boat team leader definitely give you some leadership like some leadership roles. That way you could actually learn something as you go through. But yeah, both team leaders. Now for the other positions, so now we had a male we had a male officer. Pretty much you order stuff and it comes to Rhode Island. Like if you forgot something, let's just say toothpaste or something like that. You order toothpaste from Target and it comes straight to your dorm room where you would be staying at the time. We had an academic officer. That's the person that pretty much made sure that everybody had what they needed as far as class material so they could be the most successful in class. We had a linen officer. We had a first lieutenant, the person who dealt with all the cleaning supplies and stuff like that. And we had a uniforms officer. The uniform officer pretty much goes to the next with you, writes down when they don't have your size, because they're not gonna have somebody's size. Not everybody is that's not a one-stop shop at all. So you go there and then they could either order what you need, or you could just you get the bare minimum that you need to pass through STA-21, and then once you pass your class, you'll order what the officer uniform items at a later date. So one of the biggest things for me was everybody's an officer candidate, so everybody's on the same platform, but not everybody knows the same, and we know that. So myself, I was coming in as a first class, been first class for a little bit, up for chief, so I knew a little bit more than MMSN, that got selected for STA-21 right out the nuclear pipeline. So how do you make that work? So you pretty much mentor those people who don't know how much you know, because at the end of the day, you're still all officers candidates fighting for that chance to become a commissioned officer. So you should never look down to another person for not knowing something that you know, but you already been in like 6, 7, 8 years, or even 10 or 11 years, depending on when you got selected. Like, don't look down on somebody who's only been in 2 years. Help that person out. Because they still need those tips and those tricks on definitely how to how to wear uniforms. Like we had an issue about us not mentoring people on how to wear uniform, because uniform items are very, very important. And while you're in training, they're very thorough to make sure that you're wearing those uniforms right. So man, that's it for this video. As far as the class team, I highly recommend that you go there with an open mind. That's like, okay, I'm going to be here for some time. Let me get involved in something to help the team out, because the more people that's involved, not necessarily the more people, but the more people who's willing to take on those little jobs, helps the whole team operate a lot smoothly. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate y'all just watching my videos, man. We moving up. We got 15 subs. Check out the rest of the videos and comment below on this video if you got any tips and tricks that you want me to speak on. Give me a topic and then I'll make a video on that topic. I really appreciate everybody's support, and then I will check you out next time. Y'all be easy. Peace.